Senator, you know that there is a proposal for dedicated funding for Metro. It's a $200 million federal contribution and $50 million from the localities. Are you for that contribution? You said you've worked with Senator Coburn. He's holding it up in the Senate. Have you spoken to him?
You know, I have not spoken to him about it. Obviously, you know, I think it's important for Virginia senators to take the lead on Virginia projects. But I can tell you that I have a strong bias for mass transit and public transportation. I think it is very important for us to note that Metro is one of the best systems in the country. It is highly used. You've got huge problems with traffic here in Northern Virginia. It seems to me that it would be a wise investment. But more importantly, I want to be a good partner with Virginia and all the states when it comes to transportation. That's why I proposed a $60 billion infrastructure reinvestment fund created in part by the savings as we draw down from Iraq that would reinvest in roads, bridges, mass transit, other critical infrastructure needs here in the United States.
Let me ask another Virginia transportation question. How about rail to Dulles? It's a $900 million contribution. Would you be for that?
Well, as I said, I don't want to make commitments to projects that are outside of my home state that I haven't studied carefully. But Metro is a terrific system, and I know that the drive out to Dulles is no fun. And if we can relieve some of that congestion, that's good for the environment. It's good for people's family lives getting home sooner, and it would probably be economical over the long term, but I'd have to study it before I commit.
Here's a terribly predictable question. In the first year of your administration, will you push for D.C. voting rights in Congress?
I will be fully supportive of D.C. voting rights. I have been in the past. Obviously, a lot of our success will depend on how we do in this congressional cycle. And so, you know, if we've got a lot more Democrats and a lot more Democrats in the Senate, then who knows? We might be able to pull this off.
I have to pin you down. First year, would you push for it in the first year?
Yeah, well, here's what I will tell you. I will entirely support efforts in the first year. But look, I'm going to have a lot on my plate. We could be in a major recession. I've got to end the war in Iraq. I'm trying to get universal health care done. We've got to have an energy policy that solves climate change. And so, you know, I want to be as honest as possible and say if the opportunity comes, I'm going to seize it. But I can't anticipate at this point all the problems that may be on my plate in that first year of office.
Thematic question. You've been criticized. Even today there's an article about Barack Obama is running to the center, that you're forgetting your progressive heritage and progressives that were with you that nominated you. How do you answer those critics?
I think it's bunk. And you know, I thought actually Gail Collins in the New York Times had a useful corrective on this. People haven't been listening. I've never been an ideologue. I've always said that we need to come together across party lines. I am a strong progressive, and that's why I continue to want to end the war in Iraq as quickly as possible. That's why I want to provide universal health care. That's why I want a more progressive tax system. That's why I want to expand things like early childhood education and college tuition assistance. But I also think that, for example, places of worship can serve to provide enormous services all across our country, and I have consistently talked about working with the faith community to deal with issues. That's not a change. I have been somebody who supports the death penalty in the instance of heinous crimes. That's not a change. I've always believed that the Second Amendment means something, that there's an individual right there, but I've also said that doesn't contradict with the idea of having tough gun control laws and background checks. So, you know, in each of these instances, I think that people have been scouring around for changes in position that frankly aren't there. I've been very consistent in my positions.
Final question, immigration. You're familiar in Prince William County, the local police can screen whether somebody is an illegal immigrant. Is this a local role? They say the federal government should do more. What do you think of the practices of Prince William County, and what is the federal role in immigration?
Look, I understand why local communities have gotten frustrated because the federal government has been abdicating on its responsibilities to deal with immigration. I think it's a problem, though, if we start having a patchwork of 50 different states, all the different localities and communities, all running their own immigration enforcement systems. I think the federal government needs to do its job, and that means strong border security. That means cracking down on employers who are hiring undocumented workers. But it also means providing a means for undocumented workers who've been here a long time and who are committed to the American way of life to get out of the shadows, pay a fine, learn English, get to the back of the line, and ultimately to have some sort of pathway to citizenship. I think that's very important as well.
Thank you very much. Hope you come on my show on Friday. Maybe when you're down in Virginia 2 points, you need a little push. Okay, thanks very much.
Can you guarantee 2 points on your show?
No, I can guarantee 2 points.
Is that what it's called? Now that I know, man. All right. Thanks.